talented artists. Don't forget to subscribe. In this project, what colors you use are absolutely up to you. Do whatever you want. So I know that creating the hills and the crop lines and creating depth, making the whatever element like a tree look like it's getting smaller, I've really dictated what I want you to do. That's one of the objectives. The color is a way for you to have a lot of choice. The nice thing about oil pastel is if you draw over an area, you can just scrape it off with your nail. I also have popsicle sticks if you want to use that. I'm drawing on top of my stripes, create this pattern. This is a mixed media piece because we are not using just one medium. Oil pastel is a medium, but that's not the only medium we will use. But we are going to use watercolor as our last layer to fill in any place that's white. However, if you leave this much space between the stripes, that's going to be a lot of watercolor. So I recommend that you think of a line. I'm going to do a zigzag line. You could do a curly line. You could continue with the straight lines and go right on over your stripes. You want to color in at least half of your paper with oil pastel, and feel free to leave some white because we will be painting the whole paper with watercolor next session. I wish I had left this much white, but I added more. You may want to leave a little bit more white than I did in my drawing. Next, you may want to create a new color by blending 2 or more oil pastels together. You can experiment. Just remember that if you pick a color that is next to the color you're going to blend, so for instance purple on the color wheel, or another shade of purple like this lavender, it's going to be harmonious. It's going to look like a similar shade. The colors that are next to each other on the color wheel are called analogous. Analogous means next to. If you pick a complementary color to blend with it, I'll show you with the green, with the red, you're going to get a shade of brown, which can be quite nice. And, oops, I did it in the wrong place. Red and purple are next to each other on the color wheel. They are analogous, and this is a wonderful example of what happens when you blend analogous colors. Look at that beautiful harmonizing from red to purple. So green and red make a nice dark brown, and that actually looks really nice, especially for a field. And then if you pick 2 primary colors, of course you're gonna create the secondary color. Okay, now I'm going to pick some different colors for this hill. Being careful to draw with oil pastel right on top of all those pencil drawn crop lines. I'm going to make these orange stripes bigger. I'm just going to have a smooth texture here. It is fine to decide not to blend colors at all and just have a nice thick layer of one color. And I want to be careful not to draw over this hill with the orange and not to draw over the tree, but I want to go around the tree. I want to honor my tree. My tree must exist in my drawing. As I've already said, if I had to do this again, I think I would leave more white of the page showing so that next week when we paint our watercolors, we can really have that combination of watercolor and oil pastel. It is up to you. You get to decide. Just make sure that when you are drawing on your hills, If the hill is supposed to look further away, make your lines closer together. If you have an area that you want to be white, be sure to color it in with white oil pastel. You might want to add a little shading and have fun coloring in your beautiful mixed media crop line farm landscape. I'm excited to see what you do.